Ready.
So good afternoon everyone. So today's our discussion topic is rising gas price affecting common people. I believe that it will affect common people in many ways, like it will increase traveling costs, it will increase public transportation like also auto, bus, taxi, and another thing is it will increase the price of goods because of the transportation of goods needs fuel. So if we increase the fuel price, it will also affect the transportation cost of goods. So the another thing is it will affect common people. They set a budget for 1 month. If the fuel price increase, it will affect their monthly budget. It will increase and their savings will be break. So these are some reasons.
Hello everyone. Yes, by rising the gas price, it will surely affect for the common people. In day-to-day life, one-to-one connection is there. If suddenly the gas price increases, means because of our living cost price will affect. Other things will be expensive. If everyone are planned for the monthly budget, if it suddenly one thing is increased, means it's an imbalance. It affects normally. And if you go to hotel and all, food prices will be very increased, and the transportation will be increased. So parallelly, by increasing the gas prices, all over the several reasons, it affects in so many things.
Yes, increasing the gas prices, there is common people affecting it. Because of their, without gas, they don't have any cooking and cooking, transport, everything we need gas. So many restaurants also closed down because of the increase in the gas price. And some uh, like hotels, restaurants, and PGs also closing down because of the raising the gas. Even some common people like daily wage workers also affecting mostly. They can't afford the gas because of raising the. So there is so many children and daily workers like going to office. They are suffering for gas raise.
Well said, my dear fellows. So, as far as my opinion is concerned, I am on the same page, and I would completely agree with the statement what you already explained. So again, I would like to reiterate and kind of highlight a couple of things here. First is your direct impact on the daily expenses. Like as you mentioned, like you have monthly budget, you have set the expense or kind of a plan for the month. Because of that sudden spike in the fuel or kind of LPG gas price, and you need to cut down your daily expense, other expenses. That budgeted amount, whatever you allocated for that cooking or gas, now the amount is more than 3 times or 4 times, like in the normal black market. And even if in the connection you have the connection, but you are not getting within the time frame, right? So this is there. The second, I would say, everything else becomes expensive. Like due to the increase in the fuel price or gas price, the other expenses are getting increased, especially your transportations, your delivery charges, or I would say your food charges, like you are buying food from restaurant, that is also getting impacted, right? Then third, I would say, the small business or the vendors or the workers support a lot. Why do I say like that? Because the commercial cylinders is not available, or it is very limited in supply, and because of that reason, even if it is limited, but the price is skyrocketing, and it is not readily available. Even if they are getting, and they need to meet their breaking in, and the cost is high, and that the cost they need to recover from the customers, and they will charge more. Obviously, the demand will be less, and they may lose the customer, or sometimes the customer may not, buy the same thing or the same quantity or same quality of goods at a higher price, right? So that is getting impacted to their business. Then on the other hand, I would say, uh, you know, severe impact on the low income group. That means especially the street vendors, or kind of the migrant people, or the people, they are just hand to mouth. They don't have enough savings for that, and for them now affording the gas cylinder and preparing food, it is very tough or very hard to survive in this situation. So that is very pathetic situation that people are suffering, especially the lower income group. Then moving on to the next, I would say, uh, you know, uh, lifestyle changes and reduced cost. Lifestyle changes in the sense, because of the price, especially the gas price increased, that other way around, the other costs are getting impacted, and people, they have cut down their other spends, like the travel, like food or shopping, or kind of entertainment part also, right? Then the last and but not least, I would say the economic impact, like it is bigger economic impact in the sense, I would say, since the price got increased and inflation rate is increased, obviously. So when the inflation is at higher level, then the economy will be very slow, and it will not in the growing stage, right? So government may cut down the price by giving subsidy or kind of any alternate. So now the question is, how do we overcome these situations? So the situations in the sense, the alternates we can go with the inductions, like the electric over, that will help now as an alternate measure. Second, we can go with the CNG instead of LPG. The CNG, but it is limited in supply, or maybe it is very rare in the metros, not available in all the cities and all. Third, we can use as a wood fire, especially relevant for the rural or kind of village area. And other way, like we can think through, like we can put down our time, like instead of having n number of items in your meal, you can cut down maybe 2 items, 3 items in your dishes. So like this way, we can have a plan, so that we can overcome these situations in the current situation. So that is the temporary situation that I feel. But since the India imports the crude oil or from the outside India, and because of the economic crisis and geopolitical issue from the global level, and that is getting impacted to our country, right? So this is the some of the reason that I can foresee, and the alternative solution for this. So I'd like to hear further from your side. What is your opinion? Thanks.
According to me, gas prices is increased directly to the common people. First of all, we affect to the cost of life. While we are want to buy anything, it affect to the increased cost, and also is gas cost will increase, and fuel, diesel, petrol, and daily we go to the office and wherever we want to go, that the petrol and diesel cost will increases, and also then savings will reduce, and while you spend more money in cost of living, and also transport also is increases. When we private buses, like public transport is also increased nowadays. And whenever we go to restaurants or like there in bill also GST, like gas also they mention. So this is
Yeah, so let me ask you a question to Hinan. Do gas prices affect your daily life?
Yeah, obviously it will
How?
affect, like cooking, the winter is cooking. So we can't cook every time. If the current is not there, we can't use injection cooker. So gas is mandatory for daily life.
Have you noticed any increase in price recently?
Yeah. Because of gas price increases, even in hotels, food prices are increasing, and coffee tea prices are increasing parallelly, and the transportation charge also is affected. And even gas price also, like black money, black type, they are increasing multiple or triple.
Who do you think is most affected by gas price hikes?
By increasing the gas price, mostly common people will be suffers because they can't afford the black market gas. They only depend on the government gas. But there is a limited of gas they can't buy. Even they buy, the suppliers mostly give the primary to the whoever have, give the extra money. So that's why there is a common people will affect mostly.
How do rising gas prices impact household expenses?
Yeah, yes, this is most wonderful question that I'd like to happy to answer this. First, as I rightly mentioned, like you have limited source of income, right? And mostly, maybe 70% in urban people depends on their salary income or maybe fixed income per month, right? And they have the limited budget. Budget in the sense, let's say the person is earning 30k, out of 30k maybe the 20k is now he could have kept aside for the household things, rent, everything. But due to that reason, or due to the gas price increase, now they need to think through how they can manage their expenses or daily expenses. Somewhere they need to cut down their expenses. Otherwise, it is very difficult to afford that gas price. This is basic necessity. They can't. There is no other alternatives for this, right? And they need to make it. So to make it, they need to reduce or cut down the other expenses. That will impact on their daily expenses, as well as they need to cut down their travel plan or cut down their entertainment or kind of other plans.
How gas prices affect small businesses?
Yeah, it's for small businesses, and some are they are not buy to gases because they can't afford so much money because
They can't afford.
they can't afford because they daily and the small business will help to their financial situations. So it's complicated to buy more gases. Like they are provide only one gas per 45 days. How they will
Survive with that.
how they will survive?
Are rising gas prices a serious burden on the middle class?
Yeah, obviously this is serious burden for middle class because uh, they they make a budget for every month. It will go. It will drop the limit, so it will affect the middle class.
Try to speak more. Is it a good time to switch to electric vehicles due to high fuel prices? What do you think?
Yes, but it's a good time. But the electrical vehicle productivity also is more.
Do you drive? You drive. Yeah. So you're the right person to answer that question. Have you ever used an electric vehicle? You don't have any idea about it. So does anyone have any idea about that question? Who can answer?
We use
No, I would like to answer this. The problem is like it is the best time to buy an electric vehicle. Now, when it comes to buy a new vehicle, that means it is a kind of capex for you. It is a capital expense, one-time spend. The one-time spend, you should have a good amount of budget for this. If you don't have, then there is alternate. You can go for EMI or kind of loan amount, right? so that is not feasible in this era. And I would say electric vehicle is good to the extent it is possible, but the economic or kind of efficiency wise, there may be some negative feedback because of the the load capacity or the engine capacity kind of thing, or the efficiency is not that good, or sometimes the battery qualities or kind of the cell may not be go long, or that kind of problems, or sometimes if you are planning for a long trip, that case the battery may go down, or sometimes there may be some problems. And as compared to your fuel vehicles, the electric vehicles, the cost is much higher. And that time, I know you need to think through whether it is feasible for you, the benefit you are going to get for next maybe 20 years or 30 years for the life of the asset, and the amount what you are going to spend today, what is feasible, that you need to think through the economical benefit and the cost and the benefit analysis before now planning for a new bike.
Okay. One last question to our Monica. How do rising fuel prices affect your personal budget?
Raising will affect our daily budget because some common family this much only they provided to spend. But when it comes to increase the prices, they need to cut off their savings and use extra money. Sometimes they just take public transport, but they are also increasing the prices. So that's why they can't even buy fuel can't even drive. So they are affecting mostly. Um, but sometimes they can use electric vehicles. But everyone can't afford the two vehicles at the same time. It makes them difficult.
Okay, thank you.